Put your drinks in the air because the Republicans and Democrats have said that they have come to an agreement on the stimulus package that will impact our country as a whole. Don't worry, y'all. This is just some Gatorade. But I'm excited. Expect checks. Expect bailouts. Expect the stock market to go like this. Let's talk about it. It's safe to say that we had an amazing day in the stock market yesterday. And hopefully this kind of shows everybody watching that you buy in the dip because it's going to recover. This is what I've been saying in the past videos of mine. And hopefully yesterday was a pure example of how quick, things can recover. This market is just solely based off perception and news at this point. We don't even know if this package is going to do it, is going to really turn our economy around. We are in a recession, and just because of the news of this package coming out, you've seen a nice little surge in the stock market. But don't be fooled, my friends. Do not be fooled. This does not mean that it's just going to continue to go up. Now, it can continue to go up. Don't get me wrong. But that does not mean that it's going to just continue up. That does not mean that we already seen the bottom. History shows, statistics show, public information out there will tell you that usually after a nice little hike like we had yesterday, that usually means a reversal's coming. And be prepared, my friends. When the reversal comes, it's buying time. It's more buying time. That's what I'm going to be doing. I don't give investment advice, but I'm telling y'all what I'm going to be doing once I see that reversal happen, because it is time to play. We've been sitting on the sidelines. We've been begging coach to get in. We've been doing our research. We've been watching other people win. Other people do great things in this market. And now coach is looking down the bench. And when this reversal comes, your hand better be up. Your eyes better be lit. You better listen. You got all the time right now. Except for the essential workers. I'm sorry, the essential workers. You still have to work, and it might be hard for you to trade, but it's still possible. It's still possible for you to trade. And this is just an interesting time. Let's talk about the details in this quote unquote stimulus pack, $2 trillion stimulus package. Let's talk about it. So the full details on this package hasn't been fully released yet. I'm sure we'll hear more about it today and tomorrow. But some elements that are proposed are $250 billion for direct payments to individuals and families. Enjoy y'all checks for those who do get them. $350 billion small business loans. God bless all you small businesses that are forced to be taking loans. And $250 billion in unemployment insurance benefits. $500 billion in loans for distressed companies. We're hearing also maybe some student loan forgiveness or some type of structured leeway for the people that are stuck in student loans. I gotta be honest with you. I'm no financial expert, but this package is one of the biggest packages that our country has ever put together. And what will be the effects, right? Because we all love candy. We all love, fatty foods, greasy foods. But what are the effects of those? What are the long-term effects of those things that we love, right? We have this money love, this greed. The greed is what has got us here. What will be the long-term effects of this greed? You really start to wonder, right? But the good part is that we have a president that is looking out for the stock market. He's looking out for businesses because that is important. That is important for our economy. And like I've said before, this dip, this low, this bear market will pass, and we are in the midst of the bottom. We are here. Like, if there was any moment, if you have been sitting on the sideline, I hope that you have your list of companies. I'm still like, because I know time's crunching, right? I'm still like, ooh, damn, should I go all in on this company? Should I go all in on that company? There's a few companies I'm still kind of like, ooh, because to see big gains, it is going to take some time. It could take 12 months, it could take 24 months. But if you gather and diversify in your shares, I believe that you will not be disappointed. Now, we could get a whole new president in the fall, and then everything can be flipped upside down, turned around, it could be a whole new world. But if you're in it for the long term, eventually everything will work its way out. This market runs off perception. Like, that's what I've come to learn. Any type of bad news, any type of good news, it's gonna go up with the good news. It's gonna come down with the bad news. And if you're in it for the long term, what you want to pay attention to is the bad news, right? You don't want to be hoopling and hollering and happy and on the good days, because we know that's coming. We know there's going to be good news, right? What you want to be alert is on the bad days when everybody's like, whoa, you want to be, it's time to shop. We got sales, right? Bad days equal sales. The good days is just, just, it's a little nod, like, yeah, I know. It's like, a few people reached out to me, and this was one of their best days, especially for a lot of us new investors. Yesterday was one of our best days, right? But those days are going to come. We know, right? So we want to be paying attention more to the bad days, the more fearful days, because that's when we win, right? So let's get into some stocks. One company I still have a lot of confidence is Zynga. They're just part of that gaming app type of socializing industry, and I think that their next quarter earnings report will be a nice one, because a lot of people have been home. A lot of people have been bored. I feel like I'm running out of things to do every hour, and I keep myself productive. So I can only imagine someone who is not creative, someone who just does nothing but work. They're looking for games. They're looking, and even people that are already playing these Zynga games, they're just ramping up their game playing time. So I think that going forward, Zynga, when we're looking at growth stocks that have potential in the future, and even potential now, literally they're a game away from just skyrocketing. They are literally another game away from skyrocketing, and I potentially think that will be a company that I'll be like, I'm glad I invested in that company. So make sure y'all check out Zynga whenever you get a chance. Check their balance sheet, check what they're doing, check what they're up to, and make a decision to see if they should be on your watch list. Another company I want to talk about is Ally Financial, and I know many people are wary of the financial markets. I am too, a little bit on the fence, but listen, we're getting sales prices on some of these financial companies, and with this nice little stimulus package, if the auto industry gets affected, we're hoping to have some more money in. And the Feds have already said, just so that we're clear, that if they need to do more packaging, if more money needs to be printed, right, they will do so. So I think that we got to kind of like not think about all the bad and kind of see what's on sale here. And Ally Financial, they just made a huge move this week, providing Carvana Company, which is like an online car selling, $2 billion in receivables. I mean, you can look at the details; it's all public information. But for a company like Alley Financial to provide another company $2 billion in quote unquote recession, or looking like we're going to be negatively affected even more, I mean that just tells you that they got more money. And what Alley is gonna do, right? If you don't really understand their business model, is that they're just gonna package all these car loans together and then sell them to the feds. The feds have all the money right now, and the feds are gonna buy up so much debt. I mean, look up all the details on your own, but the feds are gonna that's what they're gonna do with all these trillions. They're gonna buy up so much debt, whether it's good or bad. They're gonna buy it, and if Alley's selling at a good price, hey, I listen. My car loan is under Alley, so their service is pretty good, and they seem like a very uh, knowledgeable company. They seem like they know what they're doing, and they have a certain level of type of clients that they deal with. They're not just loaning their car loaning loans out car loans out to just anybody, to Joe Smo. I think that you got to be at a certain like credit level to even get a car loan through Alley Financial. So make sure y'all check out Alley Financial. Make sure y'all check out their balance sheet, and do your own research, and you'll see if you can put them on your watch list. And finally, I want to talk about maybe two industries that maybe you should just stay away from right now, and kind of, I mean, if you're really in love with them, I guess watch them from a far distance, the farthest seat in the stands back that you can find to watching them. And it's going to be the cruise lines and the cannabis companies. Now, both are on extreme sale right now, but I don't want you to be fooled into thinking that these ones are going to be a quick turnaround, right? Let's start with cannabis companies, which I'm a fan of, and I thought, early on when I first started my journey, I was heavily invested in not heavily, I was invested into Aurora cannabis, and I was looking into Canopy, and I was looking into Tilray, and these are just a few of many. But you know, when you look back at it, they were struggling then, and everybody thought that this was going to be all the companies thought this was going to be the year where they were going to get some profitability, and this virus has done nothing good for those cannabis companies, and I think it's going to maybe even push back till 2021, maybe, till we start seeing some type of more growth, maybe from them, profitability, cash. They were taking on lots of debt, and they were making lots of moves, competing with each other and trying to have the most properties and the most this and that. There's just better options, so be very careful with the cannabis industries. I mean, unless you're super diversified and you just have a bunch of money and you just don't know what to do with it, like I guess maybe, and you're looking, maybe it'll turn around in 5 years. Cool, if that's what you're thinking. Now the cruise line, super on sale, right? All the cruise lines are super on sale. They're gonna get bailed out, of course. But what worries me about the cruise lines is that millennials really ain't that big on cruise lines. I mean, let me know in the comments what y'all think. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't really see many millennials taking cruise lines. I think cruise lines is more like a older people's thing. Older people, they bring their kids, and retired people kind of go. And retired and older people should be scared to go anywhere right now. I mean, everybody should be a little worried because we don't have a vaccine, right? So that industry, I just think it's just going to take so much longer. I mean, when you're talking about, I mean, you can easily make the same case for airlines, but for me personally, I think that airlines will jump back up faster because there has to be business. This business being done when a lot of people are taking flights domestically, right? There's no business being done when someone's on a cruise for 2 weeks. So like no one's taking a cruise to meet up with a business partner in the middle of the ocean. That's just not really happening. So the airlines is gonna recover extremely quick, I believe. Make sure y'all check out JetBlue. I'm always talking about them. But I believe the cruise lines that they're just gonna take a super major hit. It's gonna be a loss. I think in the end, in the long run, we will probably regret bailing the cruise line industry out, possibly, unless everybody just forgets about this in a year or two, which is definitely possible, and then retired people are back on their cruise lines, and because that's who's running that. That's who's really bringing money to the cruise lines, the older people. Me, like, I don't want to be on no boat for 2 weeks. Like, I'd rather be in Jamaica. I'd rather be on an island that I can drive. I can go to a beach. I can go to a pool. On a cruise line, you stuck on a cruise with the same people, and then the way that they treated people, the way that some of these cruise lines couldn't even let the people off. They were just literally stuck at sea because no country wanted to take them in. It's a scary scenario to be in. Just imagine that. I think that anybody who was stuck on any of those cruise ships, they will never get on another cruise ship ever again because they will be terrified of getting stuck on it. So I would stay away from those companies, and always, like I always say, do your research. This is the time to do the most research. Clamp down on your companies. That way, when it's time to buy, there's no second guessing. You've done all your research, and you are just filled with joy to be buying when this reversal hits. It is coming, y'all. Pay attention, right? Don't be fooled by the good days. Be ready for the bad days because it's our time. We're hitting the bottom of this bear market. And if you miss this bottom within the next 120 days, because I feel like it can be any time between these next 120 days, if you miss the bottom, I guess you'll just have to wait for the next one, right? But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you let me know in the comments, what are you looking at? What stocks are you watching? The bottom is coming. What are you going to be looking to buy? What do you think about the stocks that I've talked about today? What do you think about my opinions? What do you think about the stimulus package? I'd love to just debate and talk with you guys and gals, all day long. We have nothing much else to do until Easter, right? Shout out to Trump putting out Easter. We'll see how that goes, right? Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up on this video. Make sure y'all subscribe. I appreciate y'all for watching. Have a great day. Stay safe. Stay clean. Wash them hands, y'all. Wash them hands.